In the heart of Idioma village, tucked between dusty hills and palm forests, lived a girl named Naya. Her name meant brightness in the old tongue, but in whispers, villagers called her other names. The bride of misfortune, some muttered. The one who walks with shadows, said others. She was beautiful. Not just village beautiful, her eyes were sharp like a hawk's, her skin smooth like river stone, and her voice sweet like ripe pawpaw under the sun. But no one dared to love her. From afar, she walked alone. She fetched water in silence. Even the birds seemed to pause when she passed. Men glanced. Boys dreamed. But when it came to action, they vanished like smoke. Is it true, young Emeka once asked his father, that she brings bad luck? His father stopped pounding yam and looked up. It's not just bad luck, son. It's a curse. The village was small, but the stories about Naya were wide as the sea. They said any man who dared propose to her would soon lose his wealth, his health, or his mind. No one knew how the curse began, only that it was older than Naya herself. She was 23 now. Unmarried. Untouched. And in their world, that meant one thing, danger. Years ago, there was a man named Tajuddin. Tall, dark, with booming laughter and a herd of goats that rivaled any in the east. Tajuddin was fearless. Or perhaps foolish. He saw Naya at the stream one morning, lifting a calabash of water with grace that made the trees pause. I must marry her, he declared that same evening, thumping his chest. I am not afraid of any story. A woman's beauty is worth a few rumors. The village held its breath. Drums beat. Gifts were exchanged. Naya, quiet and unsure, accepted. Tajuddin's family celebrated through the night. But the morning never came. Instead, people found Tajuddin at the riverbank, naked, shivering, muttering only one word, Ebo. 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 They carried him home. But his laughter was gone, replaced with a vacant stare. His goats disappeared one by one. In 2 months, he was dead. Naya never spoke of it. But her eyes grew quieter. She didn't ask for this, whispered Mama Ifioma, the village herbalist. But she carries it, said Chief Okonji. After Tajuddin, 3 other suitors tried. A fisherman who lost his boat. A merchant who went blind. A drummer who vanished during a storm. Each one left behind only silence and fear. The elders refused to speak of the past. But the children grew up asking questions. What curse? Naya once asked her grandmother, Mama Ebo, when she was 10. The old woman stirred her pot slowly. It is not your burden to understand. Just to survive. Naya wanted answers, but none came. By 16, she had no friends. Mothers warned daughters, stay away. Her shadow is not for you. Priests came from neighboring villages, offering prayers and incense. They left quickly, sweating and afraid. Baba Imo, the blind seer, once said, she is wrapped in protection, but also punishment. The same spirit that guards her is the one that tests men. And so she remained untouched. Unkissed. And deeply, achingly, alone. Sometimes, at night, she would sit by the river and talk to it. Why me? She whispered. Why can't I just be loved? The river, like the villagers, gave no answers. Far from Idioma, in the bustling city of Onitsha, a boy named Obina lived with his mother, selling herbs at a roadside stall. He was kind, but poor. Quick-witted, but soft-spoken. When his mother died of fever, he returned to Idioma to bury her beside his father. Nothing left for me in the city, he sighed. The village barely remembered him. But he remembered everything, the scent of the forest after rain, the echo of drums at festival, and the girl who walked alone. He saw Naya again on his second morning. She was gathering firewood. Her hair was longer now. Her face more tired. But when she looked at him, something changed. He waved. She blinked. And smiled. Just a little. Just enough. Do you know who she is? Asked his uncle Leke later that night. Obinna nodded. She's the girl I used to see by the stream. Don't go near her, Leke warned. Her beauty is not for men like you. She's the snake we all admire from afar. But Obinna had seen enough of the world to know that fear is often a mask for injustice. He didn't believe in curses. He believed in choices. And he had already made his. The next day, Obinna approached her again. Hi, he said, handing her a small bunch of basil leaves. I thought you might like this. It keeps spirits away, or so my mother said. Naya tilted her head. Do you think I have spirits? He smiled. I think you have silence. And I'd like to break it. She took the leaves. You're not afraid. I'm more afraid of dying without knowing who you are. She didn't respond immediately. Then softly, most people run. Obinna sat on a nearby rock. Then maybe I'm not most people. They sat in silence, but it wasn't heavy. It was warm. Why do they say what they say about you? He finally asked. Naya sighed. Because things happen. Strange things. And no one understands them. So they blame the girl they can't explain. Have you ever loved someone? No, she said. They never stayed long enough. He looked at her hands, strong, but trembling slightly. I'll stay, he said. She looked at him again. This time, her eyes didn't hold fear. They held wonder. Then be ready to lose everything. He nodded. I've already lost enough. That night, news spread like wildfire. Naya was seen smiling. With a man. The palm wine tavern buzzed with worried laughter. I give him 3 days, said Ode Adewale. 3. You're generous, chuckled another. He'll vanish before the next cock crows. In the dark corners of the village, women gathered. What if the curse is real? One asked. What if he breaks it? Another dared to whisper. Meanwhile, in her hut, Mama Ebo stared into her fire. The boy is stubborn, she murmured. But so was the last one. 2 nights later, Obinna heard a sound. Boom, boom, boom. A slow, rhythmic drum. But there were no festivals. No dancers. He followed the sound. It echoed through the trees and stopped, right at Naya's gate. He knocked. She answered with sleepy eyes. You heard it too, she said. Yes. She stepped aside. Come in. Inside, the room smelled of herbs, candle wax, and thyme. What was that? She Saturday, it happens when someone gets too close. Close to you. Close to the truth. The next morning, Mama Ebo summoned Obinna. He entered her smoky hut with caution. You think love is enough, she said, staring into nothing. I think it's worth trying. You will be tested. I've been tested all my life. She leaned in. Then listen. If you must love her, you must love her shadow too. Not just the girl. The spirit. The pain. The silence. All of it. He nodded. She handed him a small pouch. Burn this when the wind screams. Not before. What's in it? A question only fire can answer. On their 5th meeting, Naya gave him a calabash. Don't open it, she said. Not unless you're ready to lose everything. Obinna laughed nervously. You and your strange gifts. I mean it. He tucked it under his bed, pretending not to worry. That night, it whispered. A soft voice, like wind through bamboo. Leave, or become, lost. He sat up, sweating. Then looked at it and whispered back, "No." Chief Okonji called for him. "Obina, I remember your father. He was wise. Not foolish. With respect, I choose my own path. She will bring ruin. She is marked. So am I," Obina said. "With poverty. With grief. Let me be marked by love instead." The chief frowned. "Then may the gods protect you. Because I no longer can." Outside the palace, thunder growled in a clear sky. It was the first full moon since Obina returned to Idioma. The sky was cloudless, yet something about the moon seemed wrong. It glowed red, deep crimson, like it bled. In Naya's compound, the air was thick. Even the dogs howled and hid. "I need to show you something," Naya said, leading Obina behind her hut. There, beneath an old cotton tree, was a shallow grave. A single stone sat on top. "My mother," she whispered. "They said she died in childbirth. But I hear her sometimes. Crying. Singing." As they stood in silence, the red moon cast strange shadows over their faces. The wind picked up. And from the distance came the sound of wailing. Not human. Not animal. Something else. Obina squeezed her hand. "We are in this together." She looked up, fear buried in her voice. "Then pray we are strong enough." The next morning, villagers watched in disbelief as Obina walked with Naya to the market. No one had done that. Not in years. Children peeked from behind stalls. Women muttered protective prayers. Even the palm wine tapper climbed down to stare. But Obina walked tall. Proud. Hand in hand with the girl of whispers. "Why aren't you afraid?" one old woman asked. "Because fear builds cages," he replied. "And she deserves to be free." That evening, Naya wept. "Everyone leaves," she said. "But you're still here." He cupped her face. "Then let this be the start of something they can't explain." That night, the calabash under his bed glowed faintly. Whispered faintly, "You've been warned." He slept anyway. Baba Imo called for Obina in secret. He sat in the dark, clutching dried bones and smoldering incense. "She is not cursed," the blind seer whispered. "She is chosen." Chosen by who? By a spirit. Her mother made a pact long ago. A child for protection. But protection has a cost. Obina leaned in. What cost? Only a man worthy of both spirit and woman can marry her. All others fail the test. What are the tests? Baba Imo shook his head. They change with every soul. He handed Obina a leaf folded into a triangle. When it burns, your truth will burn too. Obina walked home in silence. The calabash trembled. Naya waited at the door. They sat beneath the stars, her head on his chest. My father left before I was born, Naya said. Mama said he was strong, but not strong enough. What happened? He came to marry her. The spirit warned him. He left. Weeks later, he died in a fire. Obina nodded slowly. Then let me face the spirit. Naya sat up. No, Obina. If it takes you, I will break. I will never love again. Then it won't take me, he said. She stared at him for a long time. You speak like a man who knows no fear. He smiled. I fear only losing you. That night, the wind outside whispered two names, Obina. Naya. At exactly midnight, the calabash cracked open. Inside, a black feather, a mirror no bigger than a coin, and a tiny scroll. The mirror reflected a grave. The scroll read, one must return to the earth for the other to be free. The feather floated, then disappeared. Obina collapsed. He dreamed of water. Of drowning. of Naya crying beside a burning tree. When he woke, she was beside him, eyes wide with fear. "I felt it too," she said. "Something is coming." Obinna asked her to marry him the next day. No drums. No songs. Just a thread tied around her wrist. They were white. Only Baba Imo and Mama Ebo attended. The wind was still. Birds stopped chirping. And when they kissed, the clouds shifted. A flock of black birds flew overhead. The earth shook slightly. Naya trembled. Obinna whispered, "Whatever comes next, we face it together." And for the first time in 23 years, she believed him. That night, the drum from long ago shattered in Naya's compound. The river turned dark, then clear. Mama Ebo woke from sleep weeping uncontrollably. The ancestors had spoken, the pact has ended. The blood is clean. Baba Imo poured water on the earth and it sizzled. A loud, soul-piercing wail was heard across the village. Then, peace. Naya slept deeply. No dreams. No whispers. Obinna, beside her, wept silently. The next day, Chief Okonji summoned the elders. "I have a confession," he said. Years ago, he tried to force marry Naya's mother, Ebo. She refused. In rage, he sought dark protection and an old charm of binding. But the ritual went wrong. The spirit took Naya instead. "I am the reason for all this," he said. He removed his crown and placed it before them. "Let her family be free." The elders were silent. Mama Ebo stood slowly. "Then let the land judge you." And the earth cracked under his feet. He was never seen again. The children came to play near Naya's house. Women brought her gifts. Men lowered their eyes in apology. The girl who once walked alone was now surrounded by warmth. Naya planted a garden. Obinna built benches under trees. The village that feared her now protected her. She taught young girls how to braid hair, how to boil herbs. Obinna began teaching boys how to listen. The spirit never returned. Because the lesson had been learned. Years passed. A festival was held in their honor. And under the same tree where her mother was buried, Naya told her story. She didn't cry. She smiled. "This is not a tale of curses," she told the children gathered. "It's a tale of truth. Of fear. Of love that stood when no one else did." Obinna stood beside her. "Do you regret it?" a little girl asked. "No," Naya said. "Because if I hadn't been cursed, I might never have known real love." And the drums played again. Not to chase fear, but to welcome joy.